The sensors on the orbital station blinked constantly, filling the room with a quiet rhythm that felt almost alive. Ethan Miller leaned back in his chair and rubbed his eyes. The view of Jupiter below was breathtaking, even through the thick observation glass. Swirling clouds of red and white moved across the giant planet, a storm that had lasted centuries. Ethan had always loved space, but today it felt different. Today, something was coming, something big. He looked at the other officers in the room. Olivia Bennett, the strategist, was calm as ever. Her dark hair was tied back, and her eyes scanned the holographic display in front of her. Numbers, symbols, and lines of alien text flowed across the screen. She didn't panic, not even for a second. Liam Carter, a pilot with a reputation for daring stunts, leaned against the wall with his arms crossed. He had seen battles before, but this one was not like the others. They were facing the Zelari, the galaxy's most feared fleet. A soft chime echoed through the room, signaling an incoming transmission. The entire room froze. A massive ship appeared on the main screen. It was sleek, dark, and enormous. Hundreds of smaller ships surrounded it, forming a perfect formation. The Zelari had come, and they wanted nothing less than complete surrender. The alien voice was strange and chilling, distorted through translation. "Humans of Earth, you have little time. Surrender your planet or face complete destruction. Resistance is pointless." Ethan felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. He glanced at Olivia. She didn't flinch. "Resistance is never pointless," she said quietly, more to herself than anyone else. Liam smirked. "They don't know us at all." The humans gathered around the main display. They had trained for years, but nothing could have truly prepared them for this moment. The Zelari fleet was vast. Ships stretched across the horizon of space, weapons gleaming like stars. Yet Ethan noticed something odd. Their formation was perfect but rigid. It didn't bend, it didn't adapt. Humans, on the other hand, were unpredictable. That was their secret. The first meeting with the High Command of Earth was tense. World leaders and military generals gathered in the Space Command Center on the moon. They spoke in hushed tones, analyzing the threat, debating strategies. President Allen, a calm man in his 50s, turned to the room. "They expect fear, they expect surrender, but we have something they do not. We have creativity, courage, and the will to survive." Olivia studied the star charts projected in front of her. "Their fleet is strong," she said, "but it moves like a single mind. If we can break that rhythm, we can create openings. We can fight them on our terms." Ethan stood beside her. "We have the ships, we have the pilots." "We can do this," Liam chuckled. "We can do more than that. We'll make them regret ever coming here." The alien fleet did not wait. Their first strike came like a storm. Energy beams tore through the outer defenses of human stations, sending debris floating into space. The human fleet responded immediately. Pilots scrambled into their fighters, engines roaring, shields activating. Ethan climbed into his fighter, feeling the familiar hum of the controls beneath his fingers. This was where he belonged. From orbit, the Earth below seemed small and fragile. Cities glimmered with lights, unaware of the war raging above. Ethan felt a surge of protectiveness. This planet, messy and chaotic as it was worth fighting for. He grinned. Time to show them what humans can do. The first skirmish was chaotic. Alien ships were precise, their weapons devastating, but humans were clever. Liam led a squadron through a cluster of asteroids, weaving unpredictably. The Zelari ships followed patterns too rigid, crashing into debris or overextending their attacks. Ethan fired his plasma cannons, not aiming directly but anticipating where the enemy would be. One by one, ships exploded in brilliant flashes. On the command station, Olivia directed reinforcements. Her mind moved faster than any computer. She saw patterns in the alien formation and guided human ships to exploit them. "Ethan, left flank," she said. "Liam, draw them closer to the asteroid belt. Now." Ethan and Liam obeyed without hesitation. The alien fleet, expecting simple resistance, was confused. Their disciplined attack faltered. Human ships darted in and out, disappearing behind asteroids, then striking from unexpected angles. They were unpredictable, fast, and fearless. Some humans even laughed during the battle. Ethan heard Liam over comms, joking about the aliens' perfect formation. "Look at them, they fly like robots. Come on, they can't be serious." The aliens had never encountered humor in the face of death. Their sensors detected something, but they did not understand it. Humans were not just fighting, they were mocking fear itself. As the battle raged, Ethan noticed something extraordinary. Smaller human fighters, though lightly armed, were disabling massive Zelari ships. One group used magnetic pulses to interfere with the aliens' engines, spinning them helplessly. Another squad hacked alien targeting systems, turning their own weapons against them. Every trick humans had learned from centuries of war and survival on Earth came into play. Back on Earth, civilians watched live broadcasts of the battle. They saw pilots maneuvering with skill, ships exploding in brilliant displays, and humans laughing through danger. Hope sparked in every heart. Even under the shadow of the galaxy's greatest threat, humanity refused to be cowed. Meanwhile, on the bridge of the alien flagship, Commander Zather frowned. He had never seen a species act this way. No fear, no panic, just relentless attack and an almost joyful defiance. "They are unpredictable," he said. "They are strange." Ethan and Liam coordinated a daring maneuver. They led a group of fighters straight into the heart of the alien fleet, dodging fire, weaving between massive warships. Explosions shook the void of space around them, but they did not hesitate. With Olivia guiding them, they struck at critical points, forcing the Zelari ships to scatter. At one moment, Ethan found himself flying directly toward a massive alien battleship. Its weapons locked on, charging a devastating blast. He could feel the heat even through the shields. Heart pounding, he laughed. "Not today." He activated a decoy system, making the enemy believe he had vanished, then struck from above, disabling the ship's main engines. It drifted helplessly, a prize for the human fleet. The Zelari had not expected humans to fight like this. Every attack they planned was met with a new strategy, a new trick, a new laugh. Their arrogance was their weakness. Humans did not follow predictable patterns. They adapted, they improvised, they survived. By the end of the day, the first engagement had ended. The Zelari fleet retreated slightly, regrouping to reassess. The humans had held their ground. Not only had they survived, but they had inflicted serious damage. Ethan landed his fighter on the orbital station, his hands shaking slightly from adrenaline. He was exhausted but exhilarated. Olivia came up to him, smiling. "We did it," she said. "They underestimated us." Liam slapped Ethan on the back. "Underestimated." "They laughed at us, and now they are the ones scared. Can you believe it?" Ethan laughed, shaking his head. "I never thought we could make them hesitate, but we did." As the humans celebrated their small victory, President Allen addressed the fleet and the world. "Today, humanity showed the galaxy that we are not weak. We are not afraid. We fight with courage, with wit, and with hearts that will not break. The Zelari will learn that fear does not control us." Night fell over the moon, the earth glowing in the distance. The stars were silent witnesses to humanity's defiance. Ethan looked out at space, thinking of the battles yet to come. This was only the beginning. The Zelari would return stronger and more determined, but humans were ready. They had survived disasters, wars, and countless threats. They would survive this too. In the quiet moments after the battle, Ethan, Olivia, and Liam sat together, looking at the view of Earth and Jupiter. The stars stretched endlessly around them, a vast and dangerous galaxy. Yet for the first time, humans felt not just fear but confidence. "This is just the start," Olivia said softly. "They think they are the strongest, but they haven't seen anything yet." Liam laughed again. "Let them come, we'll be ready, and we'll have fun while we do it." Ethan smiled, feeling a strange mix of pride and determination. Humans were small, fragile, and chaotic, but they were also brilliant, fearless, and unstoppable. The galaxy had underestimated them, and that would be the aliens' first mistake. The orbital station hummed quietly, the sensors blinking like eyes in the dark. Humanity was ready, and when the Zelari returned, they would find that humans did not just fight. They laughed in the face of danger, and that laughter carried a power no alien could understand. The first part of the war was over, but the story of humans versus the galaxy had only begun. The alien fleet had pulled back, but the humans knew it was only temporary. Ethan Miller stood at the edge of the orbital platform, looking out at the stars. His fighter rested in the hangar, ready for the next mission. The battle had been intense, but it was clear the Zelari were far from finished. Olivia Bennett joined him quietly. "They're not done," she said. Her eyes were sharp, scanning the blackness beyond the station. "They're reorganizing, they'll come back stronger, and we have to be ready." Liam Carter arrived, rubbing his jaw. "Stronger, huh? Let them come, I like a challenge." He grinned, but there was tension behind his humor. Every pilot knew the Zelari were ruthless. They had destroyed entire fleets without hesitation. Inside the command center, humans worked tirelessly. Engineers repaired damaged ships, medics treated wounded pilots, and strategists mapped out the enemy's movements. Olivia and Ethan studied the captured communications from the Zelari, trying to find patterns. Every detail mattered. Every weakness could become a weapon. Their fleet isn't as coordinated as it seems, Olivia explained. They rely on strict formations. If we can disrupt that, we can force mistakes. Ethan nodded. Then we need to hit them where it hurts and hit them fast. Liam and I can lead a squadron into their lines, draw them in, and let you guide reinforcements. Liam laughed. Sounds dangerous and fun. The humans prepared for another engagement. Smaller ships, faster and more maneuverable, were loaded with experimental weapons and devices designed to confuse the enemy. The Zelari had never faced this level of unpredictability. They had never faced a species that could improvise on the fly. When the signal came, Ethan and Liam were already in their fighters. The squadron jumped into hyperspace and appeared near a cluster of asteroids that the Zelari considered empty space. The humans used the asteroids as cover, darting between rocks and firing from unexpected angles. Olivia's voice came through comms. Ethan, flank left. Liam, draw the Zelari ships closer. Timing is critical. Ethan followed her instructions, weaving through the asteroid field. Zelari weapons fired blindly, striking rocks and empty space. They were precise but predictable. Human fighters moved like living shadows, striking and vanishing. One of the alien cruisers fired a massive beam, aiming directly at Ethan. His shields flared red, but he didn't panic. With a sharp maneuver, he turned the ship and launched a decoy drone that exploded near the cruiser's sensors. The alien ship wobbled, its targeting systems disabled. Ethan grinned. Got you. Liam had drawn 3 other cruisers into the asteroid belt. Using magnetic grapples, they spun the alien ships into collisions with asteroids. Explosions lit the void, and the squadron laughed as the Zelari were forced into chaos. On the command station, Olivia monitored the battle. Focus on their command ships, she instructed. If we take out their leadership, the rest of the fleet will hesitate. The humans launched a coordinated attack on the enemy flagship. Ethan and Liam led the charge, weaving between firestorms and debris. Explosions rocked the smaller fighters, but the pilots pressed forward. With perfect timing, they breached the ship's outer defenses. Boarding teams prepared to enter, armed with experimental plasma weapons and magnetic grapples. Inside the flagship, the humans moved with precision. Soldiers cleared corridors and disabled weapon systems. Every room had a purpose, every step carefully planned. Yet even in this chaos, there was laughter. Liam whispered jokes over the comms, and Ethan grinned at the absurdity of it all. The aliens were not prepared for courage combined with humor. Back on the battlefield, the smaller ships had created a perfect storm. Zelari formations had broken apart, ships drifting aimlessly in the void. Human fighters struck relentlessly, each move coordinated but unpredictable. Even the aliens' superior technology could not withstand human ingenuity. In the midst of the chaos, Olivia noticed something remarkable. The Zelari were adapting, but slowly. They could not match human creativity. Every trick, every feint, every distraction forced them into mistakes. Human ships appeared in impossible places, vanished, and struck again. Ethan's fighter darted toward another alien cruiser. He fired a precision shot that hit the ship's energy core. The cruiser's shields collapsed, and it spun into the darkness, a brilliant explosion marking its defeat. One down, Ethan said, smiling. Liam had his own success. He had lured a group of fighters into a trap near a nebula. The dense gas disrupted the Zelari sensors, making them easy targets. Human pilots struck swiftly, destroying the enemy vessels one by one. The nebula glowed with the flashes of battle. The alien fleet commander, Zather, watched in disbelief. They are not afraid. They do not panic, they fight with joy. What kind of species is this? Meanwhile, on Earth, the broadcasts of the battle inspired people everywhere. Children watched wide-eyed, imagining themselves as the brave pilots. Soldiers and citizens alike felt a surge of hope. Humanity had faced impossible odds before on Earth and beyond, but this was different. Humans were proving that courage and creativity were stronger than fear. Ethan, Liam, and Olivia regrouped near a damaged station. We can't let up, Olivia said. They will return and they will bring more ships, but we've shown them a weakness. That weakness is our unpredictability. Ethan nodded. And our courage and our laughter. He laughed softly, shaking his head. Can you believe it? We're making them scared. And we're enjoying it, Liam smirked. They'll never understand that. They've never faced a species that can fight like us. The humans repaired their ships quickly, preparing for the next wave. Engineers worked tirelessly, medics treated the wounded, and pilots trained relentlessly. Every person knew that survival depended on speed, skill, and unity. When the next wave of Zelari ships appeared, humans were ready. They used a new strategy, combining stealth, diversion, and direct attack. Ethan led a strike team directly into the heart of the fleet, distracting the enemy while Olivia guided reinforcements to critical points. Liam and his squadron used a series of traps near a dense asteroid field, disabling cruisers and fighters alike. The Zelari were confused and frustrated. Every plan they made was countered in unexpected ways. Their superior firepower was useless against human creativity and boldness. In one daring maneuver, Ethan's fighter flew directly under the flagship. Using magnetic fields, they attached a device to the hull that disrupted the ship's energy core. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the massive ship lurched helplessly. Liam cheered over comms. "Eat that!" Olivia directed a group of stealth ships to disable additional weapon systems. Humans moved like shadows, striking and disappearing. The Zelari could not predict them, could not anticipate their movements. Fear began to spread among the alien ranks. Ethan, Liam, and Olivia realized something important. Humans did not just fight. They inspired fear in the strongest enemy not through brute force alone, but through courage, creativity, and defiance. Their laughter, their jokes, their fearless attitude became weapons as powerful as any laser or missile. By the end of the engagement, the Zelari had lost dozens of ships and were retreating once more. The humans had held their ground again, stronger than before. Ethan's squadron landed on the orbital station, exhausted but triumphant. President Allen addressed the world, speaking through secure channels. Humanity has faced the greatest threat in its history, and yet we stand. We fight with courage, with wit, and with hearts that will not break. We have shown the galaxy that humans are not weak, not predictable, and not afraid. In the quiet moments afterward, Ethan, Olivia, and Liam looked at the stars. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of unknown enemies. But humans had a secret weapon that no one else possessed, their spirit. Liam stretched, smiling. "They'll be back, but I'm ready, and we'll be ready. We'll fight them, and we'll enjoy every second." Olivia nodded. "This is only the beginning, but the lesson is clear. We can survive anything. We can outthink, outmaneuver, and outfight them. They may have numbers, but we have courage and creativity, and that is stronger than fear." Ethan smiled, feeling the weight of the responsibility and the thrill of the fight. Humans had faced impossible odds before, but this battle had shown something new. The galaxy had underestimated them, and it was a mistake they would never repeat. The orbital station hummed quietly as the humans prepared for the next engagement. Every pilot, soldier, and civilian knew the truth. Humans did not just survive. They thrived. They adapted. And when faced with the greatest enemies the galaxy could send, they laughed. The Zelari would return, stronger and more determined, but humans were ready. Their ships, their minds, and their hearts were prepared for whatever came next. And no matter what, they would face the future with courage, creativity, and laughter. For humanity, the fight had only begun. The Zelari had retreated, but they were far from defeated. From deep space, more of their warships appeared on the sensors. Ethan Miller stood at the observation deck, staring at the distant fleet. Hundreds of ships moved in perfect formations, weapons glowing like distant stars. The humans had survived the first attacks, but this new wave was larger, stronger, and better coordinated. Olivia Bennett joined him, her face calm but determined. "They've learned from the last battle. Their formations are tighter, and they're coordinating better. We can't underestimate them." Liam Carter leaned against the railing, a faint smile on his face. "Good. The harder they come, the better we look." He stretched his arms and yawned, though his eyes were sharp, ready for the fight ahead. Inside the command center, humans prepared like never before. Pilots trained relentlessly, engineers repaired and upgraded ships, and scientists created new devices to confuse and outmaneuver the Zelari. Every small advantage mattered. Olivia studied the enemy fleet on the holographic display. "They are predictable but faster than before. We need to be clever and bold." Ethan's squadron was ready. Their mission was dangerous but critical. break the Zelari's main attack line and force them to scatter. The humans knew that if they succeeded, it could change the battle for the entire galaxy. When the signal came, Ethan and Liam jumped into their fighters, engines humming, weapons primed. The squadron moved through the darkness, approaching the Zelari fleet. Olivia's voice came through comms. "Remember speed and surprise. Hit them where it hurts and pull back before they can react." The first strike began near a dense asteroid belt. Human fighters weaved through massive rocks, dodging enemy fire. The Zelari fired with deadly precision, but humans were faster and unpredictable. Ethan maneuvered his fighter with skill, dodging beams and returning fire. He smiled. "Come on, try to hit me now." Liam led a squadron toward another group of cruisers. Using magnetic grapples and decoy drones, they spun enemy ships into collisions with asteroids. Explosions lit up the darkness, each one a small victory. Human laughter echoed over comms, a sound the Zelari could not understand. Inside the command center, Olivia guided reinforcements to strike the enemy's weak points. She analyzed every movement, predicting where the Zelari would react. Every strike was coordinated, precise, and deadly. The humans' speed and creativity overwhelmed the aliens, forcing them into mistakes. Ethan's fighter dove toward a massive cruiser. Its shields glowed, ready to absorb any attack. He activated a new weapon, a plasma net designed to short-circuit enemy engines. The net spread over the ship, sparks flying, systems failing. The cruiser spun helplessly into the void. Ethan grinned. "One more for the tally." Liam had his own success. He tricked a group of alien fighters into chasing him near a nebula. The dense gas interfered with their sensors, making them easy targets. Human ships struck swiftly, disabling the enemy one by one. The nebula glowed with the flashes of battle, a dangerous playground for human ingenuity. The Zelari fleet commander, Zather, grew more frustrated. "They are unpredictable, they adapt too quickly. They do not fear. What kind of species is this?" Meanwhile, humans on Earth watched the battle in awe. Live broadcasts showed pilots maneuvering through impossible angles, ships exploding in brilliant flashes, and humans laughing while under fire. People everywhere felt hope. Humanity had survived disasters on Earth before, but now they were surviving the greatest threat in history. Ethan, Liam, and Olivia regrouped near a damaged orbital station. "We've shown them our strength," Olivia said, "but this fight isn't over. They'll return with more ships, more weapons. We need to keep pushing or they'll overwhelm us." Ethan nodded. "Then we push harder, we fight smarter, and we keep laughing while we do it." The next day, humans launched a coordinated attack on the Zelari fleet. Ethan and Liam led their squadron directly into the enemy lines. Smaller human ships acted as distractions, drawing fire while Olivia guided reinforcements to key targets. The humans' tactics were bold and unpredictable. Some pilots used stealth ships to approach from angles the Zelari never expected. Others rigged devices that made their ships appear in multiple places at once, confusing the enemy. Every move was clever, every strike effective. In one daring maneuver, Ethan flew under the enemy flagship and attached a device that disrupted the ship's energy core. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the massive vessel lurched helplessly. Liam cheered over comms. "Eat that." Olivia directed stealth teams to disable additional weapon systems. Human pilots moved like shadows, striking and disappearing. The Zelari could not predict them, could not anticipate their moves. Fear began to spread among the alien ranks. Ethan and Liam noticed something remarkable. The Zelari were trying to adapt, but humans were faster. Every trick, every feint, every distraction forced them into mistakes. The humans' creativity, courage, and humor became weapons as powerful as lasers and missiles. The humans' laughter echoed across comms. Even in moments of danger, they joked and teased. The Zelari could not understand this. No species they had faced fought like this. No species had laughed in the face of death. By the end of the engagement, the Zelari had lost dozens of ships. Their fleet staggered, forced to retreat once more. Humans had not only survived, they had dominated. Ethan's squadron returned to the orbital station, exhausted but triumphant. Pilots cheered, engineers smiled, and medics breathed easier. Humanity had proven that courage and creativity could defeat even the strongest enemy. President Allen addressed the world. "Today, humans have shown the galaxy that we are not weak. We fight with courage, wit, and hearts that will not break. We are unpredictable, fearless, and unstoppable. The Zelari will learn that humans are unlike any species they have faced before. Ethan, Olivia, and Liam looked out at the stars. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of enemies, but humans had a secret weapon no one else possessed, their spirit. Liam stretched and smiled. They'll be back, stronger than ever, but we'll be ready, and we'll have fun while we do it. Olivia nodded. We can survive anything. We can outthink, outmaneuver, and outfight them. Numbers don't matter when we have courage, creativity, and unity. Ethan grinned. And a little laughter helps too. The orbital station hummed quietly as humans prepared for the next battle. Every pilot, soldier, and civilian knew the truth. Humans did not just survive. They thrived. They adapted. And when faced with the greatest enemies the galaxy could send, they laughed. The Zelari would return, but humans were ready. Their ships, their minds, and their hearts were prepared for whatever came next. And no matter what, they would face the future with courage, creativity, and laughter. For humanity, the fight had only begun. The galaxy had underestimated them, and that mistake would cost the Zelari more than they could imagine. The Zelari fleet had returned, larger and more determined than ever. From the observation deck of the orbital station, Ethan Miller watched the approaching ships with a steady gaze. Hundreds of warships glowed like distant stars, their weapons ready to strike. The humans had already proven they could survive, but this time the stakes were higher. Olivia Bennett stood beside him, her eyes sharp and calm. They've learned some tactics from the last battles, but they still rely too much on strict formations. We can use that against them. Liam Carter stretched, cracking his knuckles. More ships, more fun. Let's give them a welcome they won't forget. His grin was infectious, a spark of confidence in the tense room. Inside the command center, humans moved quickly. Pilots checked their ships, engineers upgraded weapons, and strategists refined plans. Every second counted. Olivia analyzed the Zelari fleet on the holographic display. If we focus on their command ships and break their formations, we can scatter their fleet. It will take precision, timing, and boldness. Ethan nodded. Then let's do it. This is the moment to show them what humans can do. The first wave of human fighters jumped into space, appearing near a dense asteroid field that the Zelari believed was empty. Using the rocks as cover, the humans attacked from unexpected angles. Beams of energy flashed across the void as the aliens fired blindly, striking rocks instead of ships. Ethan's fighter weaved between firestorms, dodging beams with skill. "Come on, hit me if you can," he shouted over comms, laughing despite the danger. Liam led a squadron toward a group of cruisers. Using magnetic grapples and decoy drones, they spun enemy ships into collisions with asteroids. Explosions lit the darkness, a brilliant dance of destruction. The humans' fearless attacks confused the Zelari. They had never faced an enemy that could improvise so quickly. Olivia guided reinforcements to strike weak points in the enemy formation. Every move was coordinated but unpredictable, a combination the Zelari could not comprehend. Human creativity and courage gave them an edge, and fear began to spread through the alien ranks. Ethan's fighter dove under the flagship again, this time with a new device, a plasma disruptor designed to disable multiple systems at once. Sparks flew as alarms blared across the enemy ship. It lurched helplessly, its energy weapons offline. "Take that!" Ethan shouted. Liam had his own victory. He led a group of fighters through a nebula, the dense gas interfering with the Zelari sensors. Human pilots struck swiftly, disabling the enemy one by one. The nebula glowed with flashes of battle, a dangerous playground where humans thrived. The Zelari commander, Zather, could barely comprehend what he was seeing. They do not fear. They adapt. They attack with joy. What kind of species is this? On Earth, the broadcasts of the battle inspired everyone. Citizens watched pilots darting between asteroids, ships exploding in brilliant flashes, and humans laughing while under fire. Hope spread across the planet. Humanity had survived countless disasters before, but now they were surviving the greatest threat in history and thriving. The humans regrouped near the orbital station. "We can't stop now," Olivia said. "They will bring more reinforcements if we don't finish this." "We have the advantage and we need to press it," Ethan nodded. "Then we press. We fight smarter, move faster, and keep laughing while we do it." The next engagement began with a bold plan. Human ships split into multiple squads, striking from different directions at once. Ethan led the main squad directly into the heart of the Zelari fleet. drawing fire while Olivia guided other squads to critical points. The humans' tactics were daring and unpredictable. Stealth ships appeared in angles the Zelari never expected. Decoys made it seem like there were more ships than reality. Every strike was precise, every movement clever. Inside the flagship, boarding teams prepared to enter. They moved quickly, disabling weapons systems and sabotaging energy cores. The Zelari were caught off guard, unable to anticipate the human attacks. Fear spread among the enemy ranks. Ethan's fighter attached a device to the flagship's energy core, sending sparks and electrical surges through its systems. The massive ship lurched helplessly, its weapons offline. Liam cheered over comms. "That's how it's done." Olivia directed more stealth teams, striking enemy cruisers and fighters. The humans moved like shadows, attacking and disappearing. The Zelari could not predict their moves. Their rigid tactics and strict formations were no match for human ingenuity. Humans laughed even in moments of danger. Ethan and Liam joked over comms as they dodged beams and destroyed ships. The Zelari could not understand this. No species they had fought had ever laughed in the face of destruction. The battle raged for hours, but humans continued to gain the upper hand. Each clever maneuver, each daring strike, and each burst of courage weakened the Zelari fleet. Ships exploded in brilliant flashes, and the remaining alien vessels began to falter. Ethan led a final strike squadron directly at the flagship. Using a combination of magnetic grapples and plasma disruptors, they disabled the ship's engines and weapons. Sparks and explosions lit the void as the massive vessel drifted helplessly. The rest of the Zelari fleet began to scatter, unable to maintain cohesion without their flagship. Liam laughed over comms. "They're running. They can't keep up with us." Olivia guided the remaining human squads to pursue the fleeing ships, disabling as many as possible without overextending. The Zelari had no choice but to retreat. They had been defeated, humbled by a species they had underestimated. On Earth, citizens erupted in celebration. Streets filled with people cheering, waving flags, and embracing. Humanity had survived the greatest threat in its history. The pilots, engineers, and soldiers returned to their stations, exhausted but triumphant. President Allen addressed the world. "Today, humanity has shown the galaxy that we are not weak. We fight with courage, with wit, and with hearts that will not break. We are unpredictable, fearless, and unstoppable. The Zelari will remember this defeat for the rest of their lives." Ethan, Olivia, and Liam stood together on the observation deck looking at the stars. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of unknown threats. But humans had a secret weapon no one else possessed, their spirit. Liam stretched and grinned. "They'll be back, maybe. But we'll be ready, and we'll enjoy it while we fight." Olivia nodded. "We've proven that humans survive anything. We can outthink, outmaneuver, and outfight them. Numbers don't matter when we have courage, creativity, and unity." Ethan smiled, feeling pride and determination. "And a little laughter makes us stronger." The orbital station hummed quietly as humans prepared for the future. Every pilot, soldier, and civilian knew the truth. Humans did not just survive. They thrived. They adapted. And when faced with the greatest enemies the galaxy could send, they laughed. The Zelari fleet had been defeated. Humanity had survived, and the galaxy would never underestimate humans again. As the stars stretched endlessly beyond the station, Ethan looked out and thought of Earth below. Cities glimmered, peaceful and alive, unaware of the battles fought to protect them. But humanity would never forget. They had faced the galaxy's greatest threat and won. Liam leaned on Ethan's shoulder, still grinning. "Can you imagine what they're thinking? Humans laughed at us and destroyed our fleet." "Priceless." Olivia smiled. "We fought not just with weapons, but with courage, creativity, and our hearts. That's what makes humans unstoppable." Ethan nodded. "This is just the beginning. One day the galaxy will know that humans are not just another species. We are a force that adapts, survives, and thrives, and we always fight with a spark of laughter." The orbital station remained quiet, the stars shining endlessly around it. Humanity had proven itself. They had faced the greatest enemy, survived impossible odds, and emerged victorious. The galaxy would never forget the courage of humans and their unbreakable spirit. The story of humans facing the galactic fleet had reached its climax, but the legend of their courage, creativity, and fearless laughter would echo across the stars forever. When humans face the galactic fleet, they just laugh.